Welcome back, everybody. This edition of the Talk Shop brought to you by Pole Mountain Pharmacy, dedicated to the health and wellness of Southeast Wyoming from their location at 4th and Harney. Wholesale Fireworks, they're just 14 miles south on Highway 287, right outside of Laramie. You can celebrate what you need to celebrate the way it was meant to be celebrated. Wholesale Fireworks Way, that veteran-owned business just a part of our community for more than 20 years. And we've got the support of I-80 Towing and Automotive Services. In Studio 255 right now, Verdon Hoops and Lynn Jones, both going to talk about then and now and a little bit more we've got in store right here on the Talk Shop. We're in Studio 255 at the Laramie Plains Civic Center. Good morning, Verdon.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning.
Beautiful to have both of you in studio. Good to have so many talking about then and now. We talked before segment on what's the first business, Verdon, that comes to mind if you were to age yourself, as we did on social media recently, had more than 500 engagements on what used to be here in Laramie that was no longer here. Age yourself by that standard. Verdon, what comes to mind first?
Well, one of the first things that comes to mind is coming to Laramie to state basketball tournament and staying in I believe it was the Circle S Motel on Grand Avenue.
Yeah, remember the rope logo?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then after that, when I came here to school, the A&W down on 3rd Street.
Absolutely.
Remember, I think the Chamber
Lynn,
of Commerce is there now.
I'm going to tell you, And Lynn Jones with us here, she was the former, she was a leader in that very building. That building years ago held the Albany County Tourism Board.
That's
and
right.
Lynn Jones, tell them what your title was of that organization.
I was executive director of that.
You sure were, young lady.
You bet.
sure were.
You
And
bet.
that was a time where Albany County Tourism and the Laramie Chamber were merged, right?
Yes, they were.
That's
Yes,
right.
they
Right there. Now, I believe the Laramie Area Business Alliance, the Laramie Chamber Business Alliance, had been there, and perhaps it's still operated as a visitors building, but now there's changes, and the changes just keep on coming. Lynn, what's one of if you were to age yourself by a business or an organization or something that was in Laramie but no longer is, what might that be for you?
Being married at the time and married to a salesman who used to dress up a lot, I remember the menswear store, which is now the Cupcake Shop.
Okay, the Sugar Mouse. The Sugar Mouse is there now. What was it then?
A wonderful menswear shop.
Was it Tiamon's?
Yeah, Tiamon's. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And
All right.
there was a building next to it, which eventually caught fire, which is now
The Women's Museum.
right?
The Women's History Museum.
But spent a lot of time in Tiamon's and a lot of time at the Laramie Fly Shop out in West Laramie because we were fly fishermen. And so we spent a lot of time out there as
Now
well.
tell me, Verdon, Lynn, was there a hip pocket at that Tiamon's location after Tiamon's? Was there a hip pocket or a jeans outlet
There was.
at some
I
point?
don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, right.
There was.
So
Good. Oh, that was a long time ago.
travel the lineage of each building. This is the secret to this task. What was the business that burned down, Lynn?
I
do you
think it
remember
was
that?
a furniture store.
Furniture store?
I think.
Okay. Verdon, you remember? Did
I don't
you
remember
clean that? What was your business?
Yeah.
43 years. Your business.
I had
you sold it.
Quality custodial service for 43 years. And so I cleaned a lot of places.
We've got experts in Studio 255 today. I got Lynn Jones and Verdon Hoops in studio, and I thank you guys both for joining us. We can't do this show without Perkins Restaurant and Bakery, the Benton Rusty, 308 South 2nd Street, and Martindale's Western Store on Grand Avenue itself, right across from Digital Blues. And you've got
The old Lou's Sports Shop.
Yeah. So
sort
let's
of,
go
yes.
right there. Great segue, Verdon. Martindale's Western Store was formerly Lou's
Sporting
Shop,
Goods.
right?
Yes,
Lou's Sporting
exactly.
Goods. And what was it, if anything, before that?
Ooh, I couldn't tell you on that because Lou's Sporting Goods was there for a long time.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
They
know
were
what
one
was
of our
there
big
before.
sponsors in Little League Baseball for many years.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And not only was it Lou's, but it was owned by a treasured individual after Lou. Did anybody remember the operator after Lou had the Sporting Goods?
I can picture him, but can't think of his name.
I'm hoping for help because
I just remember the original owners, that Schmitz, or,
Yeah.
Schultz.
Schultz. Oh my gosh.
Lou Schultz.
Lou Schultz. That's awesome. I think I saw Lou doing gun shows for a while in the traveling circuit around Wyoming and Laramie. Next door to Lou's and now Martindale's, there was a few businesses that have been in the space, not on the corner, but deeper into historic downtown Laramie. We're going west from Martindale's Western Store. Dust off the cobwebs. Do you remember the photo business that was there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I actually cleaned windows in that, and I think it was just a photo shop.
I
Wasn't
think it was.
Yeah,
I do.
just a
I
photo
do.
shop.
Was it operated? Was it operated as the dark room, or was the dark room down by Arby's?
Oh, I don't remember the dark.
We're scratching our skulls, listeners. We're scratching our skulls. Also, the Stas family had a business in that very location. Speed Goat, Raj Patel also had a business where what's there today?
Couldn't tell you.
It's like deja vu. Yeah,
Wow.
it's neat.
Now,
Now
is
that's
that-
just that location, and I'm sure we've missed one or two.
Was that
perhaps
in the
even a
Wagner
few.
building? Is that
The Wagner building.
Wagner building?
That's actually across the alley.
across the alley from
I
it.
remember Mr. Stas had a cylindrical. It was a wind power piece that went up on. It was about 4 foot in height, and it was something that he had mounted on top of his building to generate some natural power. And I just thought, this was 30 years ago, folks. This is fabulous stuff, and we had this type of ingenuity 30 years ago. And here, look at what we talk about today: wind power, natural resource power, and so many good things. So that's just in that location. Right now, let's go flip back to the corner. And ask yourself if you remember where Roxy's on Grand is today.
Mhm.
What was there back when? Anybody? Any recall? How about Tommy Jack's? Right,
Yes.
right.
Jack's before,
Preceding the Brown and Gold Bar at Roxy's on Grand.
Mhm.
You had, and there's a lot of remodeling that's gone on in this
The
location.
owner of that original restaurant is a friend of mine.
Okay, well, and who would have that been, Lynn? You got a
Wasn't it the Third Street Bar and Grill?
Third Street Bar and Grill. That's actually across the street.
Okay.
That was
Oh,
next.
yes.
That was
All right.
next to the Third Street Bar.
Right.
Actually, probably at some lineage connected to it.
Right. She owned both the bar and
I
grill.
believe so.
and the one
Yeah, I believe
on
so.
the
Connected
corner.
that way.
Yeah.
And in that location, we're talking about where the Grand Newsstand was for decades.
Exactly.
And now Digital Blues is
Yes.
there
Which
in
is a
part.
great printer, by the way.
Yeah.
Since being an artist.
Shameless plugs. Shameless plugs
give 'em a
coming
little
around.
plug.
Coming around. Back to Tommy Jack's though. At one point, anyone remember Wyoming Stationers?
Oh my goodness, they had that whole corner. I
Yes.
had forgot about that one too.
Yes.
Right across from Connor Flower Shop, the Connor
Yes.
Hotel, right?
Yes.
Hotel.
Yeah, and I'm not too doggone sure that there wasn't a cellular business. I remember after Wyoming Stationers, Joan Martindale reminded me of Stationers, as she was employee there. And after Stationers, I think Cellular One was in there for a time. So many businesses come and go throughout our community. Not to take the easy ones away, but there's some history as we just work around that corner. The Connor Hotel operates as a private residence today, not a hotel operation. But in that specific space, there was a flower shop by the name of Connor Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Flowers for years there as well. Any other businesses you can think of that were
Right
there?
across the street from Roxy's now, it's the 3rd Street Bar and Grill. It
Right.
used to be Rainbow Photo.
Rainbow Photo. There you go.
And we've already mentioned how many photo shops in the last
Yeah.
couple minutes.
Do you remember who
that
owned
used
Rainbow
to be a
Photo?
big deal. No, I don't, but I watched them pull cash out of their drawer after I cleaned their windows, but I cannot remember who it was.
Isn't it interesting what we remember? Verdon, that's good. That's good. Also across the street. So if we go to right next to Misu Sushi, where that is today, the Cowboy Bar on 3rd Street was there. But does anyone remember what actually would have followed the Cowboy Bar? Maybe you have a recollection of what preceded it. I understand that there was a connection between where Misu is today and the next door establishment, which was residual part of the building. There was a pass-through, one or two pass-throughs between the restaurant today and the dance hall that was Shocktoberfest at one point as well. All kinds of craziness.
Way back.
Yeah. Well, I remember Jason Palumbo opened Shocktoberfest, put up the logs and plexiglass on the corner and an outside seating area. And the big impetus to that was it Ordinance 1650? Was it ordinance for no smoking in history of Laramie? That changed things just a smidge in the community.
A lot of people outside.
So
in
there
their
was
little patio area.
Yeah, so it was an outdoor area for smoking and non-smokers too. They were welcome, but it was an adaptation from that, wasn't it? And then Verdon, you had engaged in Lee's or Sally's. Tell us what's there now and where was that? Somewhere along 3rd Street was that business that now occupied, I believe you said, by Subway on 3rd. Do you remember that segment?
Yeah, because I remember that from being a young boy and hearing a story about my older brother running from the university down to the post office and making it in time to get the mail there.
But the post office wasn't on
at
4th.
that time, I was thinking that's where the post office was.
Or 5th, yeah.
But I do remember that restaurant right there where Subway's is.
You remember that restaurant?
I remember the restaurant, but I didn't remember it was Lee's. Is that what you say?
Well, Pat Sanchez said it was Sally's. Sally's. Now
I remember there was a Greyhound station inside that restaurant.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was a little, I think it was like the length of the block, but it was really a narrow little restaurant. And
Lynn, were
open
you
24 hours?
Lynn, were you in Laramie when the post office was a beautiful stone marble building where essentially the block that is currently occupied by the BPOE Elks Club and First Interstate Bank? Apparently, the post office was there. Is that not right, Verdon?
That's what I found out later. I thought that it was farther up, but it was in where the parking lot is First Interstate Bank right now.
Now we haven't even traveled 2 blocks, folks. We haven't even traveled 2 blocks, and look what time we've traveled. We've got a lot of fun ahead. Keep with us on the Talk Shop. This segment absolutely not possible without the fantastic support of Billy Eckhart and 308 South 2nd Street, the Ben Rusty.